Talk about the vitamin C aspect a little bit. What was the regimen like there, and is that something that you can still continue to do, or how long did you do that?
I did vitamin C back then, and I did about 20,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
We're talking IV, correct?
No, I just did oral.
Okay.
And you hear the stuff about, well, you got to do the IV or you don't get the results. Or, I've heard that, but the studies that I learned later, now I didn't know why it was working so well other than that Linus Pauling book originally. But Linus Pauling did a study back in, probably maybe 10 years ago that came out, the results came out. He was already passed away. But he did a study with Dr. Matthias Rath. And Dr. Rath was a medical researcher, and he worked with Pauling, and they did a study with vitamin C, lysine, the amino acid, proline, and EGCG, which was a green tea extract. And they learned that when people took this, they did a 15-year study with all kinds of different cancers, and melanoma is what I had. So one of them was melanoma. But I learned about this later on, and I saw that the results they were having, it stopped cancer from spreading because they came up to the conclusion that cancer is a collagen disease, that it only usually 90% of the time kills people because it ends up metastasizing through the connective tissue, through the collagen layers, and it can get into the different organs or different areas and cause inflammation and havoc. And that's what really gets people. So they found that when you take high amounts of vitamin C along with these amino acids, that people have had great results. And some of the cancers in this study were stopped 100% from spreading. One of them was melanoma. And they didn't do IV. They were just doing this matrix blend of these products. And so I understood then why it worked so well, because it was almost like a miracle for me, this diet and this vitamin C. And then I did other things along the road too that we can talk about, but it was such an interesting road for me. But also, the higher amounts of vitamin C that you take break down along with copper and iron into hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen peroxide, once it breaks down, you saturate your body with hydrogen peroxide, it starts to kill off cancer cells, really fast. And that's a very important thing about vitamin C. And if the lower amount of sugar that you eat, because vitamin C and sugar have a very similar molecular structure. And if you can starve your body of sugar, of high glucose foods, and of actual sugar and excess carbohydrates, I'm talking, the carbohydrates that break down the high glycemic foods and all that. If you can do that, then you're going to have a better chance of this vitamin C, making contact with these cancer cells. And I can tell you what, you start to create big problems with the cancer cells they start to commit suicide, apoptosis. So this is one of the key factors. But yeah, nowadays everybody's doing vitamin C drips, which I think are good. Some people have taken up to 100 grams a day of 100,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I think that most people do anywhere from probably 30,000 milligrams to 50, 60, somewhere around there. But they can do it. They need to work with someone that knows what they're doing. But I personally would be taking vitamin C, and both ways. If you could, along with a good diet, healthy regimen, all the things and there's other supplements out there.